I can't believe it, Nevis.
I know.
I can't believe it, man.
Yep.
We told every joke there is to tell.
Every single
about
joke.
Fast and Furious.
Yep.
Ketchup.
Yep.
Josh.
Yep.
Killed him.
We killed him.
He came back.
Yep.
We killed him again.
We killed him again.
We're just out, man.
We even did Megalopolis. We got a couple. Or Beekeeper. Remember that one?
Oh, those were so bad.
Didn't see that piece of shit movie.
We're just out. We have nothing left to give.
You know what, Nathan? We have to move on. All right? We're done with the skits. We got to close off this chapter in Real Talk Podcast. You mind if I do the honors? Good night, sweet prince.
Welcome back to the Real Talk Podcast, episode 169. I'm your host, Nathan, and I'm joined by the man himself, Matthew Nevis, to my left.
Thank you.
And today we are going to be talking about the top 10 movies of 2024. Happy New Year, ladies and gentlemen. Excited about 2025 and what's to come. But today we're going to be recapping 2024 in film.
Yep.
And talking about our top 10s of the year.
Yep, exactly. It's like what we did last year. Now, keep in mind, we are recording a little bit early, so there are going to be some Christmas releases that will not be on our list.
Yeah.
But we will be covering them in future episodes, so...
Yeah, like, no doubt. Like, I haven't seen it yet, but Nosferatu already is on my list.
It looks like it's going to be, yes.
It's most likely going to be on my list. But yeah, so this is kind of so far, minus the Christmas releases, the late December releases.
Mm-hmm.
This is our list. Let's start. Yeah. Let's get right into it.
Yep.
With number 10.
Number 10. So yeah, we're going to go by 10 to 1. Number 10 on my list is one that I saw recently. I'm so glad I was able to watch it. The Wild Robot. I thought that was a beautifully animated movie. I think DreamWorks really had something with the emotion. My least favorite part was the humor, but I feel like it can still work for you because it's a great story about growing up. It's a great story about motherhood. It has a lot of great themes that I feel like a lot of movies don't succeed in because they're too schmaltzy. They're too like, oh, we have to make it emotional. It's like this movie just does it.
Yeah.
And it does it simple and effective.
And guess what? It's an original idea.
Yeah, I think it's based off of a book.
Okay, sure. But I mean, it's not a sequel.
Exactly.
It's not a remake. And these days, we got to take that as a win.
Yes. We're getting few and far between, very little. So I would highly recommend The Wild Robot. What is number 10 on your list, Nathan?
Number 10 on my list is Furiosa.
Yeah,
expected, before I saw this film, I would have expected it to be higher on this list.
Same.
Considering Fury Road is one of the best movies ever.
Exactly. And George Miller's fucking great at directing.
Yeah. And Anya Taylor-Joy is so good
in
everything that she's in.
Chris Hemsworth is great in the movie too. A lot of positives, but...
Look, and it's not a bad movie by any means. I just think the shoes that it has to fill with Fury Road... It just didn't live up to that for me necessarily. And that's why it kind of goes into my number 10 spot.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I mean, coincidentally, my number 9 is Furiosa as well. Talking more about it briefly is kind of like, I feel like the pacing didn't work as well as Fury Road because it's not like the slow pace is a bad thing inherently. I know a lot of great action films that have slower pace, but this one in particular, especially the first half, I'm like, oh, it drags. It fucking drags.
And the thing is, everything is being compared to Fury Road, which has the pacing of Stairway to Heaven, just like go.
It's amazing. And when you compare that to Furiosa, obviously it's going to have a different style, different pacing, but the runtime, it's just... And here's the thing, though. We're saying a lot of positives. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful looking film. It's got amazing performances. The second half, I love.
Yeah. Oh, the sequences in this film that live up to Fury Road.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why it's number 9 on my list. It's not it's not high up on the list, but it's still top 10 for me and still on your top 10 as well.
Like that. My number 9, Gladiator 2.
That I'm surprised about. That I'm really fucking surprised.
We just saw it. Look, look. It's a worse version of the first Gladiator.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. But I love the first Gladiator. And I love Denzel Washington so much. He's one of my absolute favorite actors. I haven't seen him, step out of his comfort zone recently. I know he's done like the Shakespeare thing recently.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that.
Mm-hmm.
Just him not doing the Equalizer shit and doing a role like this.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it. It's vintage Denzel. He commands your attention on screen. Just for that, I was happy with it. I'm like, all right, we got Denzel cooking. I'm happy.
But
Let's put it at number 9.
But over Furiosa? Wow.
Yeah, actually.
Because I think Furiosa, at least visually speaking, and even characters, are more charismatic than in Gladiator 2. Aside from Denzel, I think Denzel really shines in that movie and makes it more tolerable to watch overall.
Sure. What did you give Fury Road?
I gave Fury Road.
Is that a 5-star for you?
It's 4.5. It's almost. It's
okay.
Really
I think
fun.
I gave it 4. So I think I like
Okay.
it a little bit less than you to begin with.
Okay.
Like that universe, I think I like a little bit less than you.
Fair enough.
So I think for that reason, Gladiator 2 kind of did it for me.
Okay.
But very close. These are 9 and 10.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Number 8 on my list. This was the most unexpected one for me. I know you're going to be like, really? Out of your fucking list, Nevis? But for real. Bad Boys Ride or Die. I did not expect anything from a fucking Bad Boys film.
We expected nothing.
And what we got was fucking energy. It was energy and the charisma and even some heartfelt moments from both Martin Lawrence and Will Smith, which I didn't expect coming from a lot of their recent films.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the recent films, their direction is awful. Like, I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
Martin Lawrence, dude, Big Mama's House, you got to stop that shit.
Yeah.
You got to stop with those. And Will Smith with the fucking Suicide Squad movie, like, he's not getting as iconic roles as he did in the 90s.
No.
This felt like a 90s film in 2024 in a good way.
It captured the 90s energy in a way that I had not seen in a long time.
Yeah, man. And the humor worked for me.
No, there's very funny scenes in this movie. And you know what? The third one, I had the same low expectations.
Yeah.
I was like, here we go again. Legacy sequel, it doesn't need to be made with 2 men that are past their prime.
Exactly.
And it did deliver a great film. Then they do a 4th. I'm like, here we fucking go again. They never know when to quit.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
somehow got a good one out of the third one, and they're still squeezing this tube dry,
Exactly.
And they did it again.
Yeah.
Great writing, fun story. You think about it too hard, none of it fucking makes sense.
yeah, yeah.
But it's a 90s action movie,
And the shots that they get out of it, like I always think of like that Steadicam shot with like Will Smith,
Oh yeah, when he's doing the gun and he's handling the camera himself. It's really cool. The cinematography was so memorable in this film.
Like even the scenes where, like, remember Martin Lawrence when he's having like that heart attack or whatever, and he's like floating?
Yeah,
What?
really good, man.
What are the fucking odds you're gonna get a shot like that in a Bad Boys film? I could not have expected that, and I'm so glad it appeared. Would recommend the new Bad Boys film.
Really good. My number 8 is Long Legs.
Yeah, you talked about that one.
That one hit me, bro. Was the ending dog shit? For sure it was.
Yep.
For sure it was a dog shit ending.
Yeah.
But was the first 3/4 of this film really gripping for me and really unique and a very fun Nick Cage performance that I have not seen in years? It absolutely was. I was all in on Long Legs. I think it's a great film. I look forward to the director's next film. What's the director's name again? Do you remember?
Oz Perkins.
Oz Perkins.
I have his next film on my most anticipated next year.
The monkey one, right?
The Monkey, yeah, man. Fuck
That's really excited about that. I think Oz Perkins has a very bright future.
Yeah.
And I think Long Legs showed that. I had a lot of fun with that one.
Hell yeah. I'm glad it's on your list because it wasn't going to be on mine. So I'm glad we were able to talk about Long Legs. Dude, for me, man, if you don't got a good ending or something doesn't hit in that regard, I'm going to be a bitter old man about it.
hear you.
And I think if you watch our episode, I kind of give off that bitter old man vibe. We just watched Deadpool and Wolverine back-to-back episodes, so I was just, I felt old. I was like, oh, I don't like it. But Long Legs has a lot of great moments. It's way better looking than a lot of films that have come out this year.
Yeah.
Fully agree with that, camera work and everything. And the performances are pretty solid too. Nick Cage, pretty fucking memorable. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be honest. So yeah, good one on that. 7 on my list. I know this is low, but I do want to watch it again because I think it might be higher on my list. But as of now, my 7th is Anora.
Damn.
Anora is fucking great. I do still have that criticism that I feel like the main character could have been implemented more in the movie, especially in the middle chunk of the film.
Yeah.
Narratively speaking, still great performances from her and the guy who plays Igor. I think they're amazing. Would have wanted more from their relationship, but it is one of the best looking films to me. Like it's got to be nominated for best cinematography.
Yeah, Nora really hit me, man. Sean Baker can cook.
Yeah.
I've been diving into his stuff. I just saw Florida Project. Really enjoyed that as well. You want to hear me talk more about that? I will in a potential upcoming Willem Dafoe episode.
Ooh, in the future.
But yeah, Anora, I'm glad it's on both of our lists.
Oh yeah.
It was one that was not on my radar as the most anticipated film of this year, and it's pretty high on mine personally. So
Hell yeah.
we'll get into that. My number 7 is a movie that I just saw recently. It's called It's What's Inside. It's a Netflix film
I've heard about this one.
that I did not know much about. I was just like one of those Netflix watches. Me and my girlfriend, we just saw it, and it hit me, man. Liked it a lot. It had a very cool premise.
Okay.
The premise is like this man, so like high school reunion vibes. One of the guys is getting married, whatever, that's not important.
Right.
And they invite like the weird nerd kid that they used to hang out with but had a falling out. And now he's like this tech guy who invented this I don't know, this technology that basically you put these little things on your head and you can switch
Bodies?
you could essentially switch bodies. So like I could be you and you could be me, and you wouldn't necessarily know. So then, similar to Talk to Me,
Yeah.
they do it as I think that's why I like this movie because it has a lot of parallels to Talk to Me, which I really enjoyed.
Fuck yeah.
They use it as a party game, like let's play Clue or like let's play Clue, but
with the
with
technology.
us, like
yeah.
with the technology.
Wow.
So they're sitting around trying to guess who each other are based on the way they're talking and stuff. And obviously, a lot of crazy shit happens. And it worked really well. It was a pretty unique premise to me. There's some cinematography in this movie that I'm like, whoa, Netflix movie. I did not expect to see the attention to detail and the chances that they take. Had a lot of fun with that one.
Fucking A, man. I'm glad we have, because I looked at both of our lists. I'm glad, just like last year, we have a one film that neither of us have seen within our list. So I'm glad. I'm going to check out It's What's Inside because I did enjoy Talk to Me. So if it has similar vibes like that.
It does, yeah. It's definitely a good Netflix watch.
Fucking A. I'm on board for that. So on my sixth place, Joker 2. Joker 2 fucking good. I don't care what the critics say. I don't care what the fans say. This shit
I don't care what Tim Dillon has to say.
Oh my God. Tim Dillon's been roasting the shit out of this film. Look, Tim, I'm going to be real with you. Most people only know your name because you brought up Joker 2. That's all I'm going to say, all right? Unless you're a hardcore comedy fan, like...
Yeah. I don't care what Tim Dillon has to say.
It's like this joke Norm Macdonald said about, like, oh, like the state of Hollywood and stuff. It's like, yeah, it's like all the state of Hollywood. It makes me think, what would Seth Meyers do? And he just looks at him and is like, who fucking cares? Just do what you want. No, Joker 2 is awesome. I will defend that film. It looks amazing. I love the music. I know a lot of people weren't a fan of it. I think the songs were amazing. Lady Gaga and Joaquin Phoenix, like...
I love the direction they took it, the chances they took with it. They could have delivered an easy sequel to satisfy you fucking casuals. But instead, the film had something to say and it had some heart, and I stand on that.
Hell yeah, man. I fully agree with all that. I mean, I think it's the one time we both agreed on something that was this hated.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. It really is like unanimously the one time where everyone's saying it's shit and me and you came on and like, no, you have to see it. This is a great film.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm thinking wait a few more years, more people are going to be more positive towards it.
Yeah.
Because it just came out. Of course, there's going to be outrage. There's going to be super high positive, super low positive, mainly low in this regard. But still, give it time. It's going to have that cult status.
I agree. My number 6 is Dune 2.
Oh yes.
which did not
My-
see
my,
your list.
My arch nemesis, dude.
did not see your list
I was gonna
anywhere.
I was gonna be sinister and put it in least favorite, but I'm like, no, I've seen way worse.
There's worse.
There
Yeah,
is
there's
so
worse.
much worse, obviously. Go on, Nathan. I don't have much to say.
Look, I didn't even like it that much. Like, I'm not the Dune guy. I'm really not. Like,
Yeah.
I just genuinely thought it was better than the first one.
Same.
There was a lot more memorable scenes, performances. Austin Butler, really strong stand-up.
He was good. Yeah, he was good.
Cinematography, insane.
Mhm.
I thought the score was really strong in this one, stronger than the first.
Yep.
There's a lot of positives here. Like, it's filmmaking at the highest level. It's just not for me, man. Like, I need people to talk to each other more.
I get that complaint. I also this is my only negative that I'm gonna bring because I don't want to spiel too much about it because we do have others on the list that are more
Right.
positive.
And we reviewed this film.
We did
So
exactly. So check
You
it
can
out.
watch us bitch about it.
Exactly.
In that review.
But man, I watched clips of Dune with Timothée Chalamet. I don't find him a good actor, man. I'm
No,
sorry.
we talked about that a lot in the
Holy
episode.
fuck,
Like,
man.
he just doesn't have leading man energy for me in this particular
No.
role. I just don't get it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I feel like there were better actors in the film that did better, that had better performances. What I will say, though, positively, is that this is definitely going to win Best Visual Effects. This is the best looking in terms of the CGI and everything.
Big time.
You can't top it this way. This is like with Avatar, where James Cameron put so much time into each detail. Dune is the same way with both movies.
And that's why it's on my list. When you're pushing the limits of what's been done in film history with a film, there's something about that. You know, there's something about that you have to appreciate, even if that film's not for you.
Yeah, exactly. Fully agree with that. I shouldn't have brought up visual effects because my number 5. Okay, whatever.
Let's get into the top 5.
Okay. My number 5 is one that everyone hates. It's Megalopolis. I fucking love this film. Dude, I fucking just praised Dune Part 2 with its visual effects, and then I talk about Megalopolis. Holy fuck.
That's the best segue of all time.
That's on me, man. I did that to myself.
Megalopolis.
I did that to myself. Because the thing is, a lot of the sequences, I can understand people's feeling like, oh my God, look what this is so weird. This is so out of nowhere. It's poorly, like the effects.
Whack.
It's whack. I was rewatching clips of it. It's on streaming now, so I was just watching sequences, and I'm sorry, there's sequences in it like when Caesar gets shot and that whole like moment when he's yelling like, I can't die, I can't do this, time stop. And it's like this beautiful sequence of like colors, imaginary. He talks about his deceased wife, and remember, it's like it's her body shaped in the water, but then it forms into 4 other people, and then
Right.
it gets hidden. I'm just thinking, to me, it's the feelings. The feelings got to me more than most films this year, and something about it really resonates with me. A lot of people have criticized it for its narrative and stuff. I totally get that.
Sure.
It's very experimental in that regard. There are a lot of moments of Coppola doing a lot of experiments of filmmaking, the 3 screens, or the circle, the whatever. I love all that. A lot of people don't, and I completely understand that. But yeah, I'm dying on this fucking hill. It's number 5.
Yeah, I don't love all that shit, but there is something to be said about Megalopolis for sure. You know, I went to go see it twice in a week. I thought about it a lot more than I've thought about most movies this year
Yeah.
after seeing it. And I'm just so happy that I got to see a Coppola film in theaters. I'm happy that he got to do what he wants. I love Coppola, very much innocent old man vibes that he
Yeah.
brings to this. And yeah, Megalopolis, it's memorable. It's not in my least favorite list because there's something there
Right.
with Megalopolis, but it just didn't make my top 10.
That's completely understandable. If you want to know our thoughts in more in depth, we have an episode on that.
Yeah.
We go right into that one.
Yeah.
But
My number 5 is Bad Boys Ride or Die.
great.
We talked about that. We talked about how it exceeded our expectations once again. It was such a fun watch that I feel like appeals to such a big audience. Hence why I made so much money. Love that. Definitely deserves to be into the top 5 of this year.
Very unexpected. Like if you told me in January that I would enjoy a Bad Boys film more than a Mad Max film, I'd be like, you're out of your fucking
Yeah,
mind.
you're out of your mind.
And yet here we are.
And here we are, where I have it over Gladiator 2,
Yep.
Furiosa, and
Yep.
Dune 2.
That's insane. That's insane.
It's 2024, ladies and gentlemen.
I love it. But yeah, number 4 on my list. It's one of my favorite franchises, and my personal favorite of the new ones, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, is number 4 on my list.
This movie hit.
I get emotional.
They did it again, man.
They really did, and I feel like this has the opportunity to be a new chapter into an even better franchise,
Yeah.
which is really
Which
insane to
is-
say
yeah.
coming from Matt Reeves' duology.
A masterpiece.
Which those films are really good too. But I feel like those films are more darker, more grounded, dealt with a lot more seriousness. I want Kingdom to be the more hopeful trilogy
Yeah.
that becomes more creative and more heartfelt. If it does that, then I feel like it would be that beautiful light at the end of the tunnel.
They laid the groundwork for it. I think that's kind of the vibe that I was getting. Yeah, I completely agree with you, man. The shoes they had to fill
Yeah.
were massive, and somehow they filled them.
Well, we cannot wait for the sequel.
Cannot wait for the sequel. That was one that we were anticipating for a long time. I remember us talking about that like in one of our early episodes.
Yeah.
And it delivered. That's one that I left the theater like, yes,
They nailed it.
they nailed it.
They
They
hit it out
did
of the
it.
park. Yeah. Good one. That's number 4 on my list. Your number 4?
Number 4 is Joker 2.
Yep.
Joker 2. Can you believe Joker 2's in my with all the negative buzz around Joker 2, it makes my number 4. Stuck with me, man. I really enjoyed it. I really, really did. That's my number 4.
I love that. Damn, we're in the top 3 already. Okay. Number 3 on my list. It's Monkey Man.
I love Monkey Man.
Monkey Man's great. And I'm so glad we had that opportunity to watch it at the Scotiabank Theater.
Yeah, that's a big movie for us, man.
Yeah.
That's like a big movie. Like, not only did we love that movie, we got invited to go see that early, which
Yeah.
was a first for us. It was a super memorable experience being in that theater and seeing that. It's an experience I'll never forget.
Yeah.
I'll never forget seeing that movie. I'll never forget how I felt after watching that movie.
Because, like, Monkey Man wasn't just your typical revenge story. It did a lot of interesting things. My favorite being, like, it got better as it progressed, visually speaking. It didn't just do the standard, like, Jason Bourne type of directing. I feel like Dev Patel was like, no, I'm gonna go a little weirder as this character progresses,
Yeah.
so that he has this arc. And it's such a beautiful way to handle it because of the climax of the movie in that red room, essentially going to hell and facing the devil.
I think about that scene all the time. I watch it on YouTube. It's so good, man. What an ending.
I love it.
What an ending. And you know what? We watched the trailer.
Yep.
The trailer was incredible.
amazing.
But focused on the action.
Yeah.
The trailer was setting me up for Indian John Wick,
Yeah. Which it isn't.
which it's not.
Yeah.
It's so much more than that, but with the caliber of action that you can expect from a John Wick film. Sometimes better.
Yeah, I would say so. I think the final action scene, the battle, like the fighting of everyone, to me is so much more impressive because you feel that emotion way more.
My God.
It's the emotion that gets to you, and yeah, that's all I gotta say.
I gotta
about it.
watch that movie again.
Same,
We gotta
man.
watch that movie again, bro.
I want to get that shit on Blu-ray. Are you fucking
we
kidding
gotta
me?
do that. Like,
Yeah.
what a movie.
Beautiful, beautiful. Number 3 on your list.
Honora, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Honora, Sean
Yeah.
Baker. I'm so glad you put this movie on my radar. It really, really stuck with me, man. I'm still thinking about that final shot. I'm still thinking about the realism and writing in this film. I love it. There's so much I love about this film. The cinematography we talked about. Honora deserves to be on the top 3, and it's a film that maybe was not on your radar, but you need to watch this year.
I think another one it could get nominated for is, well, obviously Best Actress, but maybe Director.
Yeah,
Maybe director.
man.
Did you say also screenplay? I think original screenplay he could win that.
I think. He
I
could
think
win that.
actually maybe he might win that more over than director though. It depends
Yeah.
on the roster because I've heard people say like Villeneuve might win. I'm thinking yeah maybe
For
Dune, but
director?
yeah,
Yeah, he cooked.
he did cook with it. A lot of people say that, so I agree in that regard. But yeah, Honor, I'm so glad it's on your list.
Yeah.
So okay,
number
number
three?
two, my number
Or
two.
sorry, your number 2.
Yeah, Challengers, baby.
Challengers.
Challengers. This one I feel like sits with me more, not just with the music, but with the characters and the overall story. I love the pacing of this. It's one that I've been thinking about in terms of how it handled. I I guess it's like an erotic drama. Like it's very much in that space. But I
Masking as a sports movie.
Masking as a sports movie, exactly. But I really stuck with the characters because of the fact that they're all doing an amazing job. I love that love triangle, and it's very toxic, and it shows like it showed something that I usually don't see in a lot of those types of films in that genre. But I fucking love. I love how it's shot too. Like
Soundtrack?
The soundtrack's great. I personally love it. I know you weren't a huge fan of it. The techno music. from-
Soundtrack, they go for it, and I can appreciate that. They
Yeah.
go for it. It's not the soundtrack that you'd probably expect from that film, that genre.
Yeah.
But they go for it. It didn't work too as well for me. It was kind of all over the place.
Right.
Cinematography, I loved. I loved the
Yeah.
chances they took, like the shot under the court, shit like
Right.
that. Like
Yeah.
they were cooking with those tennis scenes.
I even read an interview about it where like Luca Guadagnino was just like, I don't know anything about tennis, but I read the script and I'm gonna make it.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a mentality that a lot of people should have when making movies because you're looking at it from a completely different angle. And it's an angle that I respect from a lot of these filmmakers, like Honora, for example, where you have that different angle, and it's like, what if we focused on this now?
Yeah.
This is not like any other sports film I've seen, and I love
No.
that. I love that.
And like Zendaya, man, like
She's great.
she's great in this movie, and I kind of have the same criticism for her as I do with like Timothy Chalamet, which is like I don't know. Sometimes it's just too plain, boring character in some of her roles. Like some of her role choices.
I would say like with Dune, both of them aren't given as much as much range as I wanted them to.
she commands the screen in Challengers.
Yes, exactly.
She gives that boss energy that I was waiting for her to play. I was waiting for her to not be Mary Jane,
Yeah.
the love interest.
Exactly.
She's way more than the love interest in this movie. And that's definitely a big positive of it.
I fully agree. She might, you know what? She might get nominated as well. I think she does an amazing job, her performance. But yeah, overall challengers, fucking stuck. with
That's
me,
number
man.
2, yeah?
That's number 2 on my list. What's your number 2?
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah,
Hit so different for me. We talked about it. It deserves to be there.
I fully agree.
And number one
number
movie
one.
of the year.
So my number 1 movie is one that we haven't talked about. This was an unexpected one. I saw this and I didn't think much of it. I remember hearing it was like a coming of age story, and holy fuck, I did not expect it to be this good. I saw the TV Glow.
It's on my watch list, man. I got to get to that one.
So I'm not going to spoil too much about it. It's a coming of age story. It's shot very very unique in of that it cuts back to this kid. The story is essentially about this kid who is very like socially awkward, doesn't really know what he wants to do in his life, doesn't really know what he wants to be, meets up with a friend, and she watches the show called the Pink Opaque, I believe it's called. It's very inspired by Goosebumps
Cool.
from the 90s. So they watch that, and that's how they connect to the show. They connect as friends and whatnot. And you cut to this kid as both a teenager in his 20s, in his 40s. And the more you see of that character, the more depressed he becomes.
Oh,
As
so
he gets
they cut
older.
To his whole, so you got to see like his whole life.
Glimpses of like moments in his life, and he talks to the camera and basically says how he feels and what he's going through and stuff like that. There's a lot of themes in it that I don't see a lot in movies that this does really fucking well. It's a coming of age story that you've never seen before. Essentially, it's not like your typical one. It takes this angle that's might work for some people and might not work for others, and I fucking respect that because it's taking a chance of its shots, its editing, its pacing. I think Justice Smith, he's the lead in the film, gives his best performance. It's one of my favorite, if not favorite, performance of the fucking year. I doubt he's gonna get nominated because this film is very independent and
How old is what time period do they focus on most? As kids?
mainly teens.
Us teens. Okay.
Late teens, 20s. But yeah, man, like you kind of, I don't want to go too deep into the themes and whatnot. I just want to say like,
What's the feeling that you leave with it? Is it like a sad? Like
Sad.
It's sad.
fucking depressing.
Oh
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Okay, so I got to be mentally ready for that.
be
That's what
mentally
I
ready.
needed to know because
Yeah.
I need to know when to watch movies like that.
Yeah.
I need to be in the right headspace for it. You know.
It's one of those things where it's not like these bigger films like Oppenheimer or Dune,
Right.
where it's just like you're completely open, like your jaw dropped from the spectacle. This one is more being impressed and sad and emotional for this character because you can feel what they're going through, and it's very hard to do that, especially when you're making a film because you have to be so fucking vulnerable when making it. And sometimes it doesn't work. To me, this works really well. I've heard both sides. I've heard people say it's weird, it doesn't work for them, or it's too personal and they can't watch it. Like people have gone through similar things as this main character and they're like, I can't
Yeah.
sit through it. So I completely understand that. For me, fucking love it. Favorite film of the year currently.
I love that. And my number one is Monkey Man.
Fucking amen.
It just blew my socks off, man. Like it just really did. And on top of it was our experience going to see it together, and being invited to go see it early. You know, it was a big deal for us. Like
Yeah.
it was just cool that we were recognized for yapping on this microphone,
Yeah.
and somebody saw that and was like, "Let's invite these guys to go see it early."
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool, man. You know, it's a really cool thing. And the movie absolutely delivered.
Mm-hmm.
It's the most memorable movie going experience of the year for me, and that's why it's on my number one.
I fucking love that, man, because it was an amazing film. Dev Patel, we're going to see any movie that he's directing, starring in, writing,
Anything.
fucking anything.
Anything.
Yeah. So I love our top 10s. They're very unique. We had some hot takes on both ends. But let's get into least favorite
Yeah.
because fuck it. We don't have to explain too much about it because it's our least favorite. We don't want to go too much into
Yeah,
it. You
we-
go first.
Kung Fu Panda 4.
Yeah, it sucked.
It sucked. And like people are already commenting, you guys are talking about a kids movie. We got some of those comments on our review.
Oh yeah.
It's like, yeah, sure, but also we know what a good movie is. And when I watch Kung Fu Panda 1, I still like it.
Yeah.
When I watch 2, I still like it.
Mm-hmm.
And we grew up with this franchise. We have something to say about this franchise.
Exactly.
You know,
So when
we were the perfect age to really appreciate this franchise. You know,
exactly.
So when a new one comes out, and it's been a long time,
Mhm.
we're excited, obviously. And it just did not deliver. They didn't have an idea strong enough to make this movie, and they made it anyway.
Yeah. They half-assed it, man. They
Big time.
really half-assed it. That's on my list too. Another one that's on both of our lists I'm reading right now, Roadhouse. That fucking stunk.
Yeah, it stunk. It stunk. We expected it to stink, I think, but it's worse than I even thought.
Yeah, man.
Saw that one on the plane. I will say it's a great plane movie.
Yeah?
Because it's just like, whatever. You know,
Okay.
You're half paying attention to a film on a
Yeah.
plane. It's a good plane movie. It's absurd. There's some funny scenes from like a meme perspective,
Yeah, exactly.
but none of it works. The
overlong.
love story doesn't work.
Oh, yeah, man.
The Jake Gyllenhaal's character doesn't work. The fucking Conor McGregor's character really does not work.
He's funny, but in terms of the story, no.
No, it sucks.
Doesn't make, yeah. It's bad.
It's a bad remake of a film that's already kind of bad. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it ain't. Yeah. We'll get into it in a future episode, but yeah, that fucking stunk. Another one on our list, Rebel Moon.
Oh my god.
I'm going to put both parts in it because they're both equally dog shit.
Couldn't even get to that second part. I
don't blame you.
Physically couldn't do it.
I do not fucking blame you with that. And one on your list, we can go into your least favorite was the Bob Marley one.
Bob Marley, One Love, man.
Ooh.
Look, biopics, you know.
They really rushed that one, huh?
Biopics, like I love Bob Marley. Like,
Yeah.
always have, always will.
He's iconic.
You throw on some Bob Marley, what it could do for your mood is unlike any other musician ever to
Fuck
me
yeah.
personally. Like,
Fuck yeah.
you throw on a Bob Marley playlist, you're having a shitty day, your vibes will come up. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
He just captures that, and I've always loved Bob as a person because of what he stood for and how he was really trying to unite Jamaica
Yeah.
in a very difficult time politically. People were killing each other for their political party at that time in Jamaica. It was a very dark time in their history.
Right.
And he was trying to really unite people through the music. And I think that's a beautiful thing and a beautiful premise for a film.
Which is
You
what
know,
they...
a biopic with the backdrop of this political violence. And it just didn't work, man. It just didn't work. And instead of focusing on that, they're just like, yeah, let's make a scene of him pretending to record, like recording this famous song for the first time.
Oh, God.
And let's do that again here. And let's just rely so heavily on the soundtrack and him being Bob Marley that we don't have to flesh out the rest.
That sucks, especially because of that history they wasted.
Yeah,
They
and what I
wasted
fuck with is what they do is like they're not telling Bob Marley's life story.
Yeah.
They're focusing on that time when he had this famous, free concert in Jamaica to unite the politicians and everything. And there's this really powerful moment where he had the leaders of both parties on stage at the time where the tension was at the highest it's ever been. People were literally killing each other.
Yeah.
And he had them on stage shaking hands.
Damn.
And they had not even been close to each other it was like,
Yeah, yeah.
And he did that through the music. And that's the climax you have to work with.
No.
And you still fumble.
Jeez.
That's why this one is on my least favorite list.
Yeah. I might have some worse ones, though, Nathan. I got two more.
Give
All
them
right?
to me.
Madam Web. Who would have thought?
Had to skip that one.
Fucking sucked ass.
Yeah.
Even when I'm drunk.
You subject yourself to some foolishness that I couldn't do this year.
It was more I saw with friends.
I know you like to do the drunken cinema, which is the only way you could get through some of these fucking movies.
Holy shit, man. If you want to know what the lowest type of quality a superhero film can be, trust me, Madam Web is the one. Not a Marvel film, not even The Flash. This is worse than that.
Which is crazy. I saw that one and it stinks.
Terrible. But I managed to find one movie even worse than Madam Web. I saw it with my parents because I was like, you know what? Jack Black Christmas film. How bad can it be? It was Dear Santa. Do you know anything about this movie?
Not really.
I'm going to tell you right now, and it sounds bad right off the bat. I was not aware this was the premise. So a kid who is dyslexic writes a letter to Santa, but he writes it Satan, and Jack Black plays Satan. And
Wait, so like he misspells Santa.
Yeah.
And that's the whole inciting incident?
inciting it because Satan gets the letter, not Santa. And Jack Black is Satan, and he says, "All right, kid, I'll give you 3 wishes. And once you say all your 3 wishes, I steal your soul." And the kid's like, "Okay." And wishes to be with a girl, and Post Malone is in the movie, and Jack Black's driving a Tesla, and you think that's the worst of it, right? No, it gets worse. I'm gonna spoil the movie so that nobody here fucking even bothers. So
Doing the Lord's work.
I'm
here.
doing the Lord's work. And I'm not joking. This is fucking serious. So there's a part in the movie where the parents are noticing this, their child is like, oh, that's weird. Why is he acting this way? Due to, Satan granting him wishes. So they take him to a psych ward. This is all played serious, by the way. And you find out an hour into the movie that the parents are struggling as well as the child is because his brother died in an accident.
Right.
And they play it seriously. They're going for the emotion and stuff. Keep in mind, Jack Black is still playing Satan and like in a weird voice.
Right.
So then Satan, grants the 3 wishes to the kid, and he's like, I'm about to steal your soul. And then you find out that he's not actually Satan. He's a henchman of Satan trying to impress the real Satan to take this kid's soul. But the real Satan's like, no, that's not right. Fuck you. And banishes Jack Black to Earth.
Oh,
So
good to know that Satan has a moral compass.
Oh yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. He's played by Ben Stiller, by the way, so you get a little cameo from him too.
Ben Stiller?
Yeah, he plays the real Satan. So Jack Black comes to Earth and is like, well, I guess I do know the true meaning of Christmas. So you think that's how it ends. He tells the kid, I'm not going to steal your soul. You know, that's how it ends. They live happily ever after. No. Jack Black's like, well, you know, the third wish didn't actually happen. You can actually wish for something. And you know what the kid wishes for? Take a fucking guess. He wishes his brother to come back to life. Yeah.
That's the ending?
The brother comes back to life. And Jack Black, you zoom in on his face, he winks at the camera, and it cuts to black. I shit you not. That's how this fucking movie ends.
Wow. That sounds like such a waste of time. I'm so glad that you explained that to me in a few minutes, and I didn't watch that film.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. I hope everyone that's watching this doesn't see this. It's one of those movies that made me legitimately angry.
Why would that be the ending?
Right? It's terrible. It's awful. It's garbage. Do not even bother. I just explained it. That's all you need to know.
When did that movie come out?
It just came
Came out, and it went straight to streaming?
Yeah, it went straight to streaming. So if you see a poster with Jack Black in a Santa outfit that says "Dear Santa," stay away from it.
What's it on?
I
Do you know?
fucking
I mean, one
I
of
don't
those
know. I
services?
just
Yeah.
my parents just played it, and I was like, all right, I'll watch it, and I fucking regret that. So
Wow.
yep,
That's insane.
worst movie.
I can't believe that that's a movie.
I can't believe it either, and I just fucking watched it.
Yeah.
We
another
can go into our most hyped films. It'll be a quick round of that, and then we
Yeah.
can call it a day.
Most hype films of 2025. It is shaping up to be a pretty good year, 2025. Definitely some films that I'm interested in,
Hopefully, none of them get pushed to 2026.
which is a very common thing we've been seeing lately of just films getting pushed, and I'm not really sure why.
It's studio shit.
Studios need to get their shit together.
Exactly.
But let's get into this list.
Okay, so the first one we brought up briefly, The Monkey.
The Monkey.
Oz Perkins. I saw that trailer. I was like, you know what? I'm sold.
Yeah.
I'm sold. I feel like that tone will work so much better than Longlegs, but who knows? I just think it looks pretty cool. The next one is Sinners. It's directed by Ryan Coogler and starring Michael B. Jordan. It's, I believe, set during the Prohibition era, 1920s, and he's killing vampires.
There's the hook right there.
There you go.
Because Michael B. Jordan, Ryan Coogler, we've seen it all before.
Yep.
But a horror movie where he's killing vampires set in the Prohibition era, a performance that we have not seen from Michael B. Jordan,
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Coogler's filmography. I don't think we've seen anything like that.
No, not really, because
So-
he's been doing the Black Panther films. It's finally like he's going back
Yeah.
to something original.
I like that. I'm interested in that one too. Could be great. Could be miss.
Could be
We'll
miss,
see.
exactly. Next one is Mickey 17. This is being
Holy.
pushed back every fucking year.
How many times can we say we're waiting for this movie?
Last year, this was on my list, and guess what? This year, it's still on my fucking list.
Yeah. And if it's on our list next year, bro, I'm done.
Dude, I'm fucking done with it, man. F1, Joseph Kosinski, Brad Pitt.
Man, they're spending all the money. There's no more money.
There's no more money.
They're spending all the money on this film, and it's gonna be so good.
It's got to work. It needs to work. Brad Pitt, Joseph Kosinski. Think Top Gun Maverick, but with F1. That's all I'm gonna say.
Better be.
That's all. Exactly.
It fucking better be.
It fucking better be. Another one is the Battle of Bacton Cross. Now, the reason why I chose this is that it is a crime film directed by Paul Thomas Anderson, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, and it's costing over $100 million. This seems like his biggest project.
Music to my ears, man. There's just no way I'm not gonna like this movie. It's the budget's bigger for PTA.
Yeah.
We got DiCaprio as the lead, and I'm just so happy to see PTA come back, man.
It's been a
minute.
while since Licorice Pizza, which I
Yeah.
liked,
Mhm.
but I want him to do something even crazier, and
It seems like it.
I'm so excited for that one. And another one that I'm excited for because they pushed this back was Saw 11.
I'm so glad you put this on this list,
Dude, Saw 11, I told my buddy Sam this. I'm more hyped for this than I am Superman.
Bro, me too.
And I'm
bro.
a Superman fan.
I
I don't
I'm-
give a fuck.
I'm way more hyped for Saw 11. After what they were able to do with 10, look, maybe 10 was like just a one
Lightning in a bottle?
Yeah, it could have easily been lightning in a bottle. where they tried something different and it worked. And maybe 11 is like that's the Saw franchise, you know. Like there's
Yeah.
a lot of good and there's a lot of terrible entries,
Exactly.
and we could easily see a very terrible entry with Saw 11. But we know Tobin Bell's coming back.
Yep. Dude,
We got his most emotional performance in the last film. They take a chance by almost making him likable
Yeah.
somehow. It just worked for me so freaking well.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to see 11. I'm so glad that the Saw franchise is still going.
Still going, man. Look, if Saw 11, if that movie is just Amanda and Hoffman arguing for 90 minutes, I will still give it a higher rating than the fucking Chris Rock movie.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I'm hyped for it. It could be dog shit. It's more likely that it could be dog shit than even better or as good as Saw 10. I don't care.
It's going to be hard to be better, that's for sure.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. And I hope this pushing of the release is to give more time to the script. Because I think
Yeah.
Kevin Gruber or whatever, he directed Saw 6 and Saw 10. He's just like, all right, let's give it some time. Let's look at the script and see if we can make it better.
Good. We don't need the yearly releases that Saw made.
Was known for it because the quality shows.
Because every year it was going like this. So that was not a formula that I think we need to duplicate, especially with this many entries. Like,
Exactly.
Make sure you got a story to tell here, and in 10 they did.
Yeah. Last one on my list of most hype films that I saw was Predator: Badlands. Now, I loved Prey. Prey was an unexpected movie from the franchise, and Predator: Badlands is going to be focused more on the Predator, but it's, I believe, set in the future. This is a future type
Cool.
of thing, so I'm down for that. I mean, look, you could put the Predator in any timeline,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna watch it.
I kind of
All
agree with that.
Like any like World War II, you could do it in. You could do Vietnam War. You can do fucking any type of war within history. So
There's just always potential for it to be a good movie.
exactly, and you don't have to rely on like, oh, we have to bring Arnold back. We have to bring. It's like, no, you don't.
No.
You bring the Predator back because that's what people want to see.
Exactly.
So yeah,
Exactly. Let us know your most hype films of 2025. And drop your top 10. Drop
Yeah.
your top 10 in the comments below. We'll read them. We'll respond to them. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe to your boys. It means the world to us. We got big plans for 2025, and we're hoping that you guys will join us here at Real Talk Studios. Most importantly, do not forget to have a blessed 2025 and take care. Brush your hair.
peace.